Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Wednesday's live stream from Suarez HQ. Hopefully you're reading me loud and clear. We've got a couple of small announcements to make just before we get started. One is the new camera that you're watching us on, which is a new Zoom PTZ camera which we bought off eBay. Thank you very much to the person that sold it to us. So we could be able to zoom in and out on this one. We had a few problems recently with the corner cam, so with it being blurred in one position, so we've changed that out this week. So hopefully this is a new visual experience for you, and we'll probably end up replacing overhead cam at some point, but for now we've got a brand new camera, so we're just getting used to the new angle. So anyway, welcome everybody. It's Circles week this week, and as you can probably see, we've got the spin table back out again, but instead of going completely nuts like we did in week 2, for week 8 we're going quite slow. But what I want to be able to show you this evening is how the circle paintings are made, and we're just going to together we're going to build up the layers and build up the circle. So hopefully we'll certainly get through one at least, and you'll be very pleased to know I've got some more canvas cut, so hopefully we'll have a little bit of fun and play with something a little bit more subdued. We're going to go a bit crazy to start with and then we're going to have a go with something a little less mad as the time and the evening goes on. So thank you very, very much for joining us. AD is in control. Give him a wave on the chat. He's out there making sure everything works. We've done all our tests. Everything so far, fingers crossed, is looking good. So I think without further ado, we'll do a couple of hellos. So AD is going to give me some hellos. I've just got an itch, so I've got an itch under my mask. Go on. James McCormack, Barb's M, Funny Fox, Ian Holmes, good day to you all. Tanya Woodford, Hazel Brown, hello. Nikki Pierce, hello Nikki, how are you doing? Tim Stanton, welcome Tim. Wendy K, hello, how are you? Zane from New Zealand, how are you doing? And I must say hello to little George, he's 3.5, might be watching us. Hello George, I'm not sure if he's our youngest viewer, but very, very honoured to have him aboard, so welcome. Who else have we got there, buddy? Hopefully we haven't missed anyone. Now I must... Oh, Hazel, have you mentioned Hazel? It's like playing the Generation game, this, if you've ever seen that. Naomi and Wendy, yes, they're there. Mardair, was that? Nikolai, yes, okay, got that. Now, you might also be able to see just over here, ladies and gents, just before we get going, I've also got a laptop which we've resurrected from the dead. And I can see the chat on the laptop, so I will be diving over to the laptop. Let's just see what happens, you know, in between. I'll have a little look, see who's chatting, so I'll try and get interactive as well, because I know I do talk for England. So, okay, so I think we're all systems go. We're going to do a quick whiz through the cameras, make sure we're okay. So, corner cam good, and where are we going next, somebody? Let's go overhead. Hello, overhead cam, how you doing? And, okay, forward-facing PTZ camera. Hello, PTZ, and finally, chest cam is good to go. And there I am watching myself on the laptop, which is very weird. Okay, so I think without further ado, my friends, we are going to roll VT. Right, AD's gone to pop the extractor on, so I think we should get going. Now I want to introduce you to we love making stuff here, obviously. Create the art. Look what we've made this week. So this is this is the normal squeegee, which you've probably seen me using, and look what we've put on the end of it. Now there is a reason for this, and that's because when I go into the centre of the paint, I can't, when it's rotating, I can't look, I physically come like, I literally can't reach. If I did, you know what's going to happen. The corner of this is going to... You get the idea, don't you? Without spinning round, it's like, Gotta look after the goods. So, we've made, and we are on overhead cam now, a nice little brush. So what essentially I'm going to be doing, look, I'm just going to show you, we're going to be creating the early kind of shapes with the extended brush. It's really low tech. I mean, it's as low tech as I could possibly get. So, here we go. Okay, so if you haven't joined us before, ladies and gents, welcome aboard to Suarez HQ. This week, we also say we've brought the spin table in, a wonderful contraption that AD and I built. When I say AD and I, AD built, with the help of a robotics engineer. Okay, so clever piece of kit this. And what am I going to do to get started? Let's get a slow rotation going. All right, let's get this bad boy fired up. Right, just go from 0 to 200 RPM, which is terrifying when it's spinning up at its maximum. Oh, come on! I can barely. Oh, there we go. I can barely stand the tension then. Okay, let's just get it moving. Okay, so let me explain to you what we are going to do, my lovely friends. So here we go. Which camera are we on, buddy? PTZ. Okay. Okay, so we're that one, aren't we? Okay, so this is what's going to happen. So we're going to start in the centre, and we're going to work our way outwards. Now, it's very, very tempting to do, you know, some really cool things with this, because, you know, you could leave it in one space and just sort of go all over the place and do all kinds of cool, weird things. But I want to keep to circles. I want to make some really nice, cool shapes and circles this week without doing them in a big spiral. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start now where I've done the mark in the middle, because it's pretty much square on the table. So we're going to start, and we're just going to get some colours out. Now I do have an idea of the colours I'd like to use. We're still on corner cam, buddy. But what I'd like to, I've got to be so careful not to stand here and go, ah! What I'd like to do is to shout out to you, to get you to shout out some colours to me. That's what I meant to say, right? So first colour that comes out from a suggestion, that's what I'm going to use, providing I've got it, of course. Let's have a look on chat, what we got. Nicky Pierce, AD, you're a genius. No, don't tell him that. He is, actually. I'm amazed at the protection, top notch, from formerly Rod Line. Thank you very much. Tracy Haregrove, wow, that's cool, yeah. Robin, there's me watching myself on the laptop, look. Robin Lindberg, just jumped on, always love to see your work. Well, I haven't done anything yet, Robin, but thank you anyway, that's very kind. And someone's already feeling seasick. Who's that? Tanya, sorry about that, yeah. you should stare at this for hours, Tanya. Okay. Right, who's it? Periwinkle, no idea what colour that is, but let's start. What was that? Did you say purple, was it? Right, Barb's M. Let's go in for purple then, alright. So what I'm going to do is take up some of the slack from last week, and I think we're going to go with a purple. Now this is one of the pearls that we used last week. Yeah, sorry Zane, I haven't got any Suarez blue, I'm waiting for it to come. But here, look, there we go, that's kind of nice. We're still on chest cam, buddy, yeah? Okay, cool. So that's quite a nice colour, so we're going to whack some of that on. What are we going to put with that? Let's think. Some pink. Alright. Ah, yes, Bob's M. I love it. Are we all in Christmas mood, are we, everybody? Are we dreading Christmas? Are we looking forward to it? What's our thoughts here, my friends? Tell me. Yeah? You all ready? You got all your shopping done? Oh, this is where it gets a bit... In fact, no, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. No, I'll keep it going. See what I mean? Look, can we see that on... Which camera are we on, buddy? Oh, yeah, overhead will do. Oh, I've got to make sure I don't, no, I can't do it. I'm going to have to switch it off. Right, I'm just going to stop this for a second. I'm going to pop ourselves some paint on that. Not a lot, because I don't want to overdo this. Now, what might appear as quite a simple set of techniques, I have to be honest, having done quite a few of these, yes, there are so many very, very small variables that you have to bear in mind here, ladies and gents. One of the key things is the volume of paint that you use. Now, with these particular canvases, if you put too much volume on in any one go, you tend to, because you're adding a fluid into a dry compound, things tend to start to crinkle. So I have to be really, really careful very early doors on how much I'm actually using in terms of volume of paint. Now, one of the really nice things I want to add to this, keep shouting your colours out, by the way, and Adi will let me know. Blue, yellow, red from Marday. Yeah, we'll get to that, don't worry, we'll get some reds on. I'll just use them all, shall I? Orange, yes, Robin, we'll get some orange going, no problem. Scarlet from Wendy K, yes, we'll do some. Well, I've got a nice burgundy, so that's what I'm going to use. Right, let's get spinning. Okay. Okay. Cool. Right, so we're on the overhead now, which is fine. So again, we're just going to keep this as a fairly slow rotation for now. We've got some on there. Let's have a look. Merry Christmas, yeah. The signal is rubbish here too. AD, are you looking forward to festivities? Of course, he says, yeah. Periwinkle is a pale indigo colour. Excellent. AD says he's not looking forward to it as much as his kids are, though. Right then, are we ready? So we've got 3 colours to start with. So, in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Well, that was quite exciting, wasn't it? I almost did something. Let's just get that with a little drop of thinners on. The reason why I've just dropped some thinners on there is because it's a dry brush, and I don't really want to mess around with sucking paint up onto the brush. In any great quantity, because what I really want is for it to be on the canvas. Okay, so we're just going to go very light. Now most of this is probably just going to suck itself in, but that's alright. So let's just get this spread out. Okay, Zane, well spotted. Yes, I have stuck down the edges of the canvas. Now, this particular canvas we cut sort of 10 days ago, because it was destined for another project on the spin table, but I wanted to use it tonight, and just simply because of the way that the condensation in here and the atmospheric conditions, it had just curled at one of the edges, and what I didn't want to do was get to the edge and later on and find out that it was all starting to flow off in the wrong direction. So a little bit of caution, that's all it is. Just to tape it down so that it doesn't move too much, and then if I should be really, really generous and a little bit wayward with the volumes of paint that I'm using, at least that way I'm going to minimise the amount of distortion I get, like I was turning on. Right, so we're on corner cam, so this is where it gets a bit dodgy. So let's just get a... Right, so I just want to get a small arc of cream in there, and the reason I'm going to do that is because I'm probably going to go light dark with this. So what this will enable us to do is to kind of get an angle on the different tones. I want to really start to see some of the tones come out here. So now what I'm going to do is just... Right, let's get the... Who said burgundy? Was it you, Tanya? I'm not sure. Let's just get... Let's get that on. All will become clear. Yes, Denise, we will get silver and gold on. Anita, yes, we will definitely be getting some lime green on. I do feel in a lime greeny mood. Talking of which, let's get some of that on. Oh, thank you, Rod, formerly Rod Line. Looking forward to seeing it unfold as a new visitor. Well, it's very nice to have you here with us, joining the fold this evening, my friends, so thank you very much for that. Okay, so we're going in with a pearl green here. Now I don't have to go all the way around with it because I'm going to end up manoeuvring some of this around, so I can appreciate it probably looks quite blue on the camera. Anyway, let's just go gentle, let's just establish what we've got. Now I'm going to start dragging the volumes of paint outwards a little bit because I want to keep this from making too much of a crinkly mess. Okay, so we're just going to sort of tease the paint out, and this is really where I have to be quite careful now, because I'm quite anxious that I want to get some really, really nice, I can't say straight, I was going to say straight lines, which is silly. I have straight lines because I'm making circles. I want to make some half decent circles. Now, as I may have alluded to in previous live streams, the more you can mix the paint, the more you tend to get the brown sludge moment. So I'm going to be very, very careful now what I'm doing. Oh, see, look. Okay, so what I really want to do now is just turn my attention into the centre, just to properly establish that centre a little bit. So now that I've got some of the paint blending together, let me get myself something really nice in the centre. And I think I'm going to stick with the pink just for a moment. Oh, thanks, Bob. That's kind of you. Now, of course, it's spinning, and I've got to try and... Oh. I've done... Can I do that? Oh, there's a drop. That'll do. Whew. Right, okay, right. So, let me just see if I can tease that round a little bit. Right, let's get that moving out. Okay. Now, the beauty of using this paint, I've got to be honest, I normally use a water-based version for this, but actually tonight, I think probably for the first time, I'm using my normal enamels. We've lost a camera apparently. Alright, well, we'll work on a fix for that as quickly as possible. He's going to see if we can get it back, so he's going to work some magic. And we're back, yay! I think that deserves a yay, don't you?
Yay!
And a round of applause. Okay. Right, we've got ourselves started. That's the main thing. Okay, good. Now I'm going to go back in with some of that. I quite like that green, so I'm going to return to that, but I don't really want any more of those sort of fleshy tones. Right, so let me go for, where's the white? There we go. Let's get some white in there. Now I'm going to think about, maybe sort of thinking about peach and orange and that kind of thing. What was that, Funny Fox? Beetroot salad and mayonnaise. Dear Lord. Right, let's get some white on. Let's get this. Let's get this heated up. So I'm going to do a complete circle of white there because I really need quite a bit on here now to manoeuvre around. Mark, yes, we're all hypnotised watching it, aren't we? Oh, send your subliminal message out, look, to us all. And now you're all hypnotised, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, okay? Use the force, Luke. Right, so we're going to get the orange on there. I love orange, it's one of my favourite colours. So, Adi says, sorry, you forgot to put the music on, so let's get the music on. Okay, that's fine. Right. Okay. Yeah, it's a good suggestion, Ian, but we would lose the corners of the canvas. So Ian's basically suggested, why don't I have a round table? But yeah, we would lose the corners then. It'd be fine if I was doing round canvases, which is an excellent idea. Which actually, we could potentially start doing that. We have discussed it. Okay, so being quite mindful now of where I'm going with this. I want to try and preserve that centre, so I don't really want to go. Now I can see the white sort of appearing, so I'm going to come back out now. Now, because I've dragged a small amount of the beetroot, thanks Funny Fox, from the centre, can you see what starts to happen now with the circles? They really start to develop. So I'm just going to bring that to a natural kind of line to mix with the rest of the white, because I don't want that sort of, I don't even know what you call it, semi kind of like a lilac-y line to really penetrate any more than that. So I'm going to really slowly just pull this fresh brush off. There we go, that'll do for now. So that brush is quite loaded with paint, so I'm going to stick this over by the bin. and let that sort itself out for a while, because I'm not sure if I'm going to return back to that. I don't really want to introduce too much of that colour paint in. Right, so let's reduce that down just a tiny bit. And if you can hit the like button as well if you're liking this, everybody, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Right, okay, now I was thinking, where's my red gone? Yes, Tim, I've got an eyeball, have I? Thanks for that. Oh, I love it. Okay, right, so let's get the red out. I'm feeling like in a red mood. Now, what I don't want to do is get the red too near the white, because I'm going to end up with pink, and not a very nice one. So I'm going to pop my red into my orange, I think, which is not too bad so far. So right, a lot of orange there. So I'll spin it up and let's get, got to choose my spacing quite carefully. Now I don't want a huge amount of red, and I need really to get some of this orange moving. Okay, excuse me. So let's get the red on. I'm not going to use any more red probably. I'm going to get a little bit busy with some really vivid purple in just a moment, because I'm feeling in a purpley kind of mood today. Now I do have quite a nice one in a giant tin. I've just got to find it, and it's kind of, there we go, it's kind of like the purple equivalent of royal blue. So let's get that off. Yes, Funny Fox, you're right. Actually, I have queued up a couple of blues. If we go to the corner cam just for a sec, sorry, the chest cam for a second, buddy. Okay, so this is my blue that I want to use, which is a semi-gloss. So that's going to add quite a bit of interesting depth and texture to it. But for now, I want to introduce the purple. So I'm going for quite a few colours here. So this is going to blend orange into red, and I'm going to have this outer edge of this really kind of intense purple. Now, this is a really nice purple because it's kind of somewhere between blue and purple, so that'll help introduce that really nice baby blue as well. Anyway, okay, right, so I'm going with another fresh brush, and I'm going to hit the orange where it touches the red because I want the volume to spread out. There we go. There we go. Now, another thing I've got to be reasonably careful about on this is that I don't press on too hard, because I'll actually be stopping the table from spinning if I put too much pressure on it, and of course that's not going to do the brushes and the motor any good. So yes, Wendy and Naomi, do I clean my brushes or or not reuse them? No, I don't reuse them. Enamel paint's terrible for that. You literally can't get it out of anything. Ah, yes, Mark, throw some mozzarella on it. Nice. It's a pizza, eh? Ah, that's fantastico, yeah? Okay, so that's reasonable. Now, I happen to have just touched the outer edge of the purple, which is interesting. So I think what I'm going to do now, let's go straight in with the purple and see what we get. There we go. You spin me right round, baby, like a record, baby. Alright, let's at least get some of this done. Now I'm pressing on reasonably hard here. You can see what's happening now to the edge. We're starting to get some real definition in it. So I'm just trying to pull this out, and I'm going to angle the brush out just slightly. And I'm trying to do, a bit like how snowplows work when they're clearing roads, is to push it at an angle. There we go, I was pressing on a bit too hard then, look. And what you tend to find is, depending on when you change the brush, is you start to bring all these lovely tones, they all start to mix and separate as you get further out. Okay, reasonable so far. We're going to introduce a lighter colour now. Those bands are really looking pretty good. I'm really quite pleased with that. Rotational speed is reasonable. What's that looking like? Just walked in and gave you a big thumbs up. Thanks, Noose Miller. That's really kind. James McCormack. Hi, how are you doing? Diana West. Nice to see you. Funny Fox. Yeah, hi, Jupiter's Rings. Excellent. 80s nostalgia. You spin me right round. I know. Pete Burns, eh? What a legend. Odd fella, but what a legend. Okay, cool. Right, so I'm quite happy now with the way that that sort of purpley hybridy blue has developed. That's pretty reasonable. Still keeping my eye on the inner circle. Now what's interesting is, you can see I've sort of got this apricot kind of line appearing here. It's a line form developing there, and of course remember I stuck a load of cream on, so now it's having a reaction with the cream. I've got to be so careful on the rotational speed here, because what I can't afford to do is make it look like a spin painting where it's supposed to be a circle painting, if you see what I mean. So Tanya, it looks mint. It looks more like a gobstopper, doesn't it? Oh dear. That was 80s joke, not mine, look. Okay, so... Ah, yes, Ian, HAL 9000, yeah, from 2001 A Space Odyssey. I'm sorry, Ed, I can't do that. Oh dear, love it. That's for all you sci-fi geeks out there. Okay, so what I've done here now is given a kind of definite line, so I wanted just to sort of explore that sort of capability of, or possibility of what a giant line would do to kind of break the whole thing up. So I'm really pleased with that. So I'm not going to come out any more than I'm out at the moment, but I'm just going to gently tease the brush off. Yes, okay, like that. That's pretty good. Okay, so 25 minutes in, my wonderful friends, and we're looking good. Barb's saying, oh, that's cool. Looks like a geode. Yes, it does. A gobstopper in half, yes. Oh, Abar Tariq. Good evening to you. Oh my God, I'm so glad I'm able to watch it live. Hi, everyone. Very nice to see you tonight. Thank you very much. You're a noob. Welcome to the live stream. In fact, if you're all new here today, it's really nice to have you aboard. Thank you so much. It's very, very gratifying when we all see new names. It really is. Now, actually, we'll leave the geode thing for a minute. I'm quite happy with that. Now, I'm going to bring the rotational speed down just a little, because the outside is spinning slightly faster than the centre. So if I'm going to maintain the kind of speed that I was in the centre, I need to slow down the outside. And the whole reason for this is I'm going to introduce some lighter colours now, and at some point, dun dun dun, at some point I'm going to might introduce a little bit of black, but I've still got to get the blue in yet.
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
So if Shia says do it, then we've got to do it, haven't we? Right, okay, so I'm... can we switch to chest cam here, bloody? Right, can we see the ring here? Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to use a smaller brush now, so this is only a 1 inch, because... Okay, let's tilt it up. And we're just going to have a gentle line here. And I don't want to go in too much, I still want to keep the definition of the line going. Just concentrating, which is why I've gone quiet, because I'm a man, I can't multitask and do two things at the same time, so I'll have to concentrate. So I want this really quite defined ring around here, because this is probably going to get pretty messed up very shortly. So just making sure that I'm fairly even and consistent. And what I'm trying to do is, you can you see that now? There you go, look, I'm just teasing out that hybrid purple blue. See, everything's got its home, everything's got a reason. Alright, because I'm about to introduce the blue ring around the outside, but I can't, I was a bit worried about doing that next to the orangey kind of colour. So instead I want to just sort of introduce this lovely outer ring now, and I'm just going to try and maintain this kind of very inner cream as well. It's getting a bit difficult because my line's shifting. Okay, I think now that's probably enough. Let's bring that off and all the way out. Okay, so pretty good so far. And then I'm going to bring just a very, very tiny sliver of this really nice blue. I'm having to be really still here, folks, which is unusual because I'm normally darting around like a lunatic. but occasionally it's just good to stop. Right, take a breath, Ed. It's not too bad so far. Looking good, son, looking good. Okay. Okay. So far so good. So I'm just going to bring that rotation down just a little bit, and then we're going to have a look at some comments. Saying a little bit of a hello. I think we all deserve a little bit of a breather. So the table is quite sensitive. Hi table, how are you doing? Hello. I don't mean like that. Okay, so we slowed the rotation down. Okay, so Ian Holmes, yes, hi Wednesday. That's ironic, the perfect example of a man multitasking. Woohoo! Katie says phenomenal. Thank you so much, Katie. That's very kind. Okay, formally rod line. How thick and fluid is the paint at this point? If you were to stop the spin, would it start flowing outwards or maintain a circle? What a great question. There will be an element of flow. Which camera are we on, buddy? So yes, there will be an element of flow in there. The more I spin, the more it will try and push itself outwards, because there is an element of fluidity always in the painting. If I were to stop it now, it would still have a little bit of movement, but if there are any variations in the floor, and there is there's about a 1 degree slope off into that corner. So I would find if I stopped the table, then there will be parts of it which will find a way down into one corner. So what we tend to do is always keep it spinning, even if at this speed, for 24 hours. And then it just means that if there is movement, it's a consistent one all the way around. And to be honest, I quite like that movement. It's such a nice thing to do and to paint, and so refreshing and fulfilling. But at the same token, this might sound crazy, I don't want it to look perfect. I just don't. I don't want it to look machine-made. I'm using a machine, of course I am, but I want it to be organic and feel like it's been considered and painted properly, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, what else have we got? So is that Kaya Kaja? I'm really sorry if we're pronouncing your name incorrectly. Thank you for joining us. The paint is enamel paint. We're still on corner, aren't we? Let's walk over there. So it's enamel paint. It's really quite nasty, which is why I'm wearing a mask. So it's got some toxic vapours, which are extracted out of this essentially big tent of which I paint in. Let's show you the extractor. There's the extractor in the corner, look, and that sucks everything out. You can only just about hear it. If I were to take my microphone away, you'd hear how loud it is. But because we stuffed the microphone right up into my mask, hopefully you're hearing my voice more than you hear the extractor, and that's the whole principle. But yes, it's pretty nasty stuff. Many artists won't use it because you have to go to all these lengths to be able to use it. But I love it. I've used it now for nearly 10 years. We're playing about with it all the time. Now, once you've got the structure set up to use it, it's the most beautiful stuff. It really is. Okay, wonderful. Congratulations. Very nice. Thank you so much. Lots of love going around tonight. Thank you, everybody. Okay, there's nothing worse than an oversensitive table. That's hysterical, Hazel. Right, okay, tell you what I want to do. Right, okay. So we've introduced some blue on the edge, which is great. We've teased it around a little bit. And I'm going to go now with a lighter blue around the edge. And, drum roll, we are going to have some gold to finish this off, and maybe a little black circle around the edge. So here we can see on chest cam, I've just swapped out and gone for a gloss version of this beautiful blue. This is like an azure kind of blue, and it's a Pantone colour. So those of you in printed media will understand what Pantone is, but it's an institute that develops colour. Phenomenal things they do with colour. Right, let's get a little bit more rotation on. Let's speed things up just a little bit now, because I need to work on the outer edges. But what happens, it gets fun when we get to the corners, and I'll show you what I do in the corners in a minute, because I'm going to then revert to having the corners in like an orangey colour. Here we go. Right, so we're going to do two things now. We're going to get the blue line on. What I want to do with the blue line is tease it outwards towards the edge. Okay, so all looking good so far. What I need to do when we've got the gold on, which is the bit that's going to go on next, is then I want to finish it off with an orange around the outside. So Tim Stanton says no, hot pink.
No,
No.
God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Excellent. Okay, right, we need... Oh, goodbye, George, thank you. Which camera are we on? Over. Good, we all say goodnight, George. Sweet dreams, thank you for watching. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, can we see what I'm about to use now? Let's go on to chest cam, buddy, and have a little look. So look, we have a big supermarket over the road from us, and they sell big pieces of sponge. So guess what I'm going to do now? Oh yeah, I'm going to reach into my magic pot of goodies that Adie's cut up for me. And yes, let's go for that one. Let's go for that one. We're going to go and we're going to lay this out with a bit of sponge. So let's see what we do. There we go. Now you get a different effect when you use sponge. Most of it tends to actually stick on the sponge. Just try and avoid the green moment, because that's normally what happens when I mix these two together. But the nice golden circle is now going to be in terms of colour, it's going to be the bridge back towards using the warmer tones. So what we've actually done, we've separated this out into several different paintings. But at the moment, all I want to do is just really bring that nice sky blue, that happy blue out. Mix it with the undertone of that purpley blue that we used earlier, which is sort of mixed from about halfway so far, right up until this point. And then once I'm happy that that line is established and the gold is moved out, make sure I cover everything on the canvas and don't leave it underneath. Hey Nicky Pierce, thank you. Your son is watching. What's your son? Tell us your son's name, we'll give him a shout out. Right, just concentrating now, make sure I get the gold where I need it to go. So I'm trying to get it reasonably even, that I'm touching the outside, which I am just about. Okay, so that's looking reasonable. Like that, so I'm touching the edges now. Most of this is going to disappear around the edge of the canvas when it gets pulled around its frame. So let's have a look. Right, so we're on all cameras now. Really liking the look of that, that's nice. So I need to finish that off now with a nice, I think I'm just going to go with the orange around the outside. So I'll tell you what we're going to do, my lovely friends. We're going to stop that, give it a rest for a minute, and I'm going to introduce the orange. So I'll show you now how I deal with the corners, because you've got to remember, when this gets put round its frame, okay, then we're essentially putting a circle onto a square. So at some point you get the circles disappearing off around the edges. So actually the edges are really, really important. So this is what we're going to do. Finley! Which camera are you on, buddy? Finley, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for watching and for joining us this evening. We are most grateful. I hope you're enjoying it. Please do ask a question. Okay, if you've got anything you want to ask. Right, so I'm going to have a little whiz around. Let's get the orange on now. In terms of, oh my goodness me, that's a bit rich. In terms of sort of completion levels and continuity around the canvas, things that kind of appear in the middle I like to put on the outside, because it just tends to bring everything together. So we're going to give that a little sort of soup side, a little whiz round. Tempted, really tempted to put a drop of yellow in, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to whiz that round with a brush. Okay, so not very high tech this bit, ladies and gents. We're just going to get this mixed in. I'm going to do the time check with AD. How far in are we, buddy? Okay, fantastic. 38 minutes in. Brilliant. Okay, let's get some happy orange going. Now, I'm deliberately leaving, I think you can see that, deliberately leaving a white gap between where I applied the gold and where I'm now applying the orange. So we're going to get, probably going to get a close-up on the camera now of me doing this. So we've stopped the table rotating, just so I can stop from kidding myself and, you know, protecting the down belows. Okay, so now I don't have to be too precious on this in the corner, because I'm going to end up spreading most of this out, as you will see in a moment. But the white gap here between what goes on the corners and the gold is essential because, I mean, it's basically going to be blending the whole lot together. Because there's one element I haven't put in yet, and it's the one I have to be so careful of. And it could be the black. And I'm literally putting the tiniest amount on because, you know, I've got, you know, these colours are really nice. They're fantastic. But here, you can probably even see it in your own head. This is the line now that's going to go right round the edge of the canvas, and it's just going to essentially just pull your eye into everything else that's going on. So the black line has got to be absolutely critical. It really has. So this is where I kind of get a little bit nervous. Okay, let's get him rotated up again. Sensitive table. I'll tell you what, Hazel, I'm still giggling at that. Can't have a oversensitive table. Marvellous. So yes, looking very geode-like, isn't it? Let's get that. You see it on chest cam. Come on. So I don't want it to fly off. Come on. There we go. Now then. It's so sensitive. Please work. You're the best spin table ever. I think you're amazing. Just please keep working. Especially as we're live on camera. Okay. That's fine. Right then, so let's get that blended in before I put the black on, alright? So let's see how we get on. Let's establish ourselves a line. Now I'll go off the edge of the canvas here for obvious reasons. I want to maintain a line and fairly even pressure. If I keep taking the brush on and off, I'm not going to achieve that. So I think I'm going to speed this up a bit, else we literally will be here all night. Okay, let's get that sped up just a little. Oh, easy, Ed, easy. Whew. Let's get that back down again, son. Alright, okay. Right, let's get that spread out. See what we can do. That's it. Okay, looking reasonable so far. Happy days. The giant gobstopper. Right. So a little bit of excess in one or two places, but that's okay. Right. Okay. Tiny bit quicker. Right. I'm going for it. This is where we just want the tiniest amount. So I'm going to pop some into a small container. In fact, here's some I made earlier. Here we go. Are we ready? Here we go. Got to hit the mark. Nice. Okay. Got to spread that out. So we're going with, I think, what's about the 5th brush we've used. Tiny spray. Now this is some black that I've left in the what's the word I'm looking for? The container for a couple of days because I wanted it to go a little bit thicker, and the whole point of this is because I knew I'd end up having to stick a very thin black line on, so this is where I get a bit right. I'll just see how we get on. Don't want it to be too thick, but at the same token it's got to mix because there are some gaps on the canvas I've got to fill, so I'm hoping I can pick up a few remnants of paint, spread them around a bit. I don't mind this getting diluted a little bit with the gold, don't mind that at all. Can all mix in. This is really just, we need a little bit of a dark edge here. Gotta concentrate. Alright, so I've got some edges of the canvas which need more paint on it, so that's going to pose a challenge. So I'm going to end up picking up some of the orange and putting it back down again. This is the point, ladies and gents, I've just got to be a little bit patient, which is really not my strong point. So let's just tilt chest up a bit. That's about as much as I can get it. Whew, okay, nearly done. And then we'll have some fun with the other one. I've got to get it off yet. You want to stick around and watch me try and wrestle with this. Right, so I'm going to try and pick up a little bit of orange, and then I'm going to try and deposit it elsewhere. Try and cover this up a little bit. So this is now really just keeping that line as defined as I can. Now you see, it's pretty much gone now, hasn't it? The black, which is fine. I mean, it's just diffused itself. It's just become like a burnt sienna kind of orangey colour now, which is fine, because I didn't really want the black to be a very prominent thing. Alright, so I'm just going to kill this for a second. Okay, I'm going to pick some orange up on the brush. Let's just get this done, and then we can move on. Okay. And there we go. And all I really want to do here, although this looks like, what are you doing, man? In actual fact, what I'm doing, I'm going to load the brush, make sure all the canvas is covered, and then just spread out the last few remnants of this, because it's a little bit light in places. Alright, there we are, that's cool. Okay, yeah, quite happy with that. Blue's looking nice. Okay, just make sure everything's covered. The one thing I'm not a fan with this of leaving parts of the canvas uncovered, so I can always manoeuvre the paint around here and there, but in its rotational format, I've got to make sure everything's got at least some paint on it. Okay, so I think a few more spins, and we'll leave it there. So tempted to go back into the middle now, but I know I'm going to lose some of the rest of it, so how do you ever know when it's finished? Well, you don't really. Right, let's just tidy those edges up, and then we'll get it off the table. And if we're all still good, we're all still happy campers, we'll get the other one on and have a little bit of fun with the last sort of bit of the session. Right, okay. So again, I'm going to pick some of the paint. I don't want this to go very quick. I just don't, because like we were speaking about earlier, I'm going to get it looking like a spin painting. And actually, tonight, that's not what I wanted to do. Now, let me just pick up on something Funny Fox has just reminded me about. So yes, Funny Fox, thank you so much. We, for everybody that's new, we shot a video and published it last Friday, or Saturday, I think it was Saturday. And you'll be very, very pleased to know that we're giving away a painting. Yeah, I absolutely promise you that's 100% true. We recently went past 10,000 subscribers, and I did promise to everyone on the live stream I would be giving away a painting. So I went ahead and I painted 2 of them. So the very last video that you can see on the channel is the painting giveaway. Look for the header that says art giveaway. Please do leave a comment, because if you leave a comment, you're in the draw and you can win a painting. I kid you not. You've got to be subscribed and you've got to leave a comment. Tell me which of the paintings it is that you like, and you're in the draw to win. It's that simple. So you'll find that on the channel. Once you're subscribed, you'll see it anyway. It's called Art Giveaway. Go subscribe, leave a comment, and you're in the draw. Draw closes on the 30th of December, and we'll draw it on around about 7:30 in the evening. Okay, right. So I'm going to stop that now. Let's stop that, and I'll straighten the table up. Okay, let's straighten that up. And there we are. There we are, my friends. We have a completed piece. So I think what's really interesting, just walking around and having a look at this now, we've really got this kind of geode thing starting to develop, which looks fantastic. I really like some of these patterns here. This was the key application. We went back over it and produced ourselves a nice contrasting line between the red and orange, and then the dark, which was that bluey purple. So that's worked out really well. I'm just going to get this off. I really shouldn't move it, but I'm going to get off the table and see if we can quickly do something else. Or I think, let's just have a look. Age is just asking me if I need a hand, so let's just see if I can get this off. Oh dear, this is going to, yeah. Right, that's my round of applause. Oh dear, I love it. It's a bit, I don't know if I'm going to get this off. Let me just speak to AD. I don't think I'm going to get this off, mate. Bear with. Don't go away, everyone. This is where we have to work things out, so I don't normally stick the corners down, and it is well and truly stuck. But I need to get it off. Now there's a scraper by the filler, so let's go and Might need to use that, so bear with me everyone. It's all good. Right, let's see if we can get that off. Ah, yeah, that's working, that's okay. Let's go round there, let's go round again. I don't want to get done for copyright, so I better not start singing. I can't sing to save my life anyway, AD says, so that's fine. Okay, right, reasonably happy with that, that's good. So that is unglued. Right, I think this needs to come off. Right, I think I am going to ask my colleague to nip in here, ladies and gents. So please, a round of applause for the legend himself. AD is about to come in, and he's going to give me a hand. Right, while he comes in then, so what can I say? Amazing, thank you Diana. Don't forget you stuck the edges down, thank you. What, no pizza paddle? Didn't you say you kept them spinning for 24 hours? How will it affect the finish? Yes, Zane. What I'll do is I'm going to have to rotate these round a little bit because the one I'm going to do next isn't so mission critical, but I will put this back onto the table when we're off air. And it'll keep spinning. Cara Louise Hines, I wonder, does the paint skin over as it dries? Just wondering what would happen if you scraped back into it at this point. Looks awesome, by the way. Well, thank you. Yeah, well, maybe one day we'll try that. To be honest, if I scraped all this off now, I'd still get the rough circles, but they would be greatly changed in terms of their appearance. Look, here he is, the legend himself. Right, so... He's got his mask on. We're just going to have a little conversation. Okay, cool. So we're on corner cam. That's fine. You'll see yourself on there in a minute. It's so weird. Okay. Oh look at all the love, man. Look at that. AD on the live stream. You've literally got the biggest round of applause, but more than I ever get. Oh, I don't know. Right. So straight over to there, buddy. Hang on. So what? Yeah. Right, here we go. Yep. Okay. Lovely, beautiful, fabulous. Thanks, mate. Awesome job. Alrighty then. Okay. No, I'll get those on, dude. That's fine. I can get it. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, brilliant. Yeah, you saw it. That's literally the first time he's ever been caught on camera. Fantastic. Right, okay, loving it. Whew. Yeah, so to try and answer those questions, yes, that will go back onto the table when we've done the next one, because that's the one that I really need to keep, keeping its shape as much as I possibly can. In fact, because I know where the slope goes, I'm just going to turn that. I'm going to rotate it so that everything pushes back that way, if you like. Alright, so because that's really looking nice, I'm really mega pleased with that. The banding's good, the colour's nice. Okay, and he's back in control. I think you need to give yourself a round of applause there, my friend. Oh. Thanks, Big Worm. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Alright, it certainly does. Okay, so we're on chest cam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep periodically looking at this just to make sure I'm quite even in the way it looks. I don't, there's going to be about half an hour now till I can get it back on the table. But that's fine, I'll keep it as it is. The outer edges, really happy with that. So the inners can do what they want. Okay, one more to get on. Hope we're all doing okay, my friends. Hope you're all having a good evening. Not sure how far I'm going to get into this because I know we're at 53 minutes. So I'm not going to rush anything, but I'm going to do more of a blue coloured palette here. But at least let me get going, and then let's see how we get on. All right. Right, that's cool. Okay. Right. Just give myself a breather for a second. I'm going to hopefully line this up reasonably well, like the other one was. It did take us about half an hour to line the other one up. But we should be alright this time, because I can see where the other one was, so that's cool. Now, There we go. Okay, so I've mentioned the competition, which is great. Don't forget to pop a comment on the video. You've got about a week and a bit to do that. And tell all your friends. Obviously tell your friends if you've enjoyed the live stream. Come and watch us. Now, I would just like to point out, let's have a look at some of the comments here. Teamwork, expert level painting mover. Oh, fantastic. Is it Friday yet? Yeah, love the movie. Yeah, we haven't quite decided what we're doing next week, obviously, because this time next week is Christmas Day. So I haven't quite decided. I don't think we'll be here on Christmas Day, but we'll hopefully get some kind of video out to you, but it isn't going to be live. So I think we're probably looking at a fortnight today, my lovely friends, but keep your eye on social media. Keep your notifications on the YouTube channel, and you'll get a little pop-up telling you when it's next happening, but I would imagine it'll be in a fortnight's time. But yes, just do keep an eye on everything anyway. Okay, cool. Right, I've got some brand new colours I'm going to crack out. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, I'm flowing now. I want to roll, people. Let's do this. So we picked these up about an hour and a half ago. That's all. So we're going in with, oh yes, and this is interesting. Never used this before. This is called Cambridge Blue, which looks green to me, but I'll go with that. That is Cambridge Blue, so that's our first colour we're going to use. Quite like that. It's going to be set with a couple of other tones as well, but predominantly Cambridge Blue. The other one we're going to kick off with is, if I can find it, Oxford Blue. Yes. So these are the blues from the universities, I do believe. So we're going to kick start off with these because there's quite some nice regal colours. Going to look lovely with a drop of gold. They're going to literally go with anything, but I'm predominantly going to make these. Oh, that's nice. Like a sky bluey kind of turquoisey aqua green. And if you can stick around, we'll get some of the pearl green in. And are we still on chest cow, are we, buddy? Yeah, then we're going to get my favourite Piaggio, for those of you who've seen it. It's an Italian scooter green, so that's fabulous. Right, same rules apply with regard to getting stuff into the middle. No idea how I'm going to do it, but let's just give it a go, eh? But let's go dark in the centre to begin with. Not going to be too worried about how close. Whoa, okay, I just spilt that. Whoopsie! Oh, now it's going everywhere. Oh dear. That's right, get it on the floor then, because I've just completely messed that up. But it's okay. Don't worry. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
No, God! No,
Okay.
God, please, no! 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 No!
Okay. So, fairly slow speed. Now, because I've already used my wonderful tool that we made earlier, I now can't use the burgundy beetrooty colour, which means I'm going to have to use, I'm thinking off the top of my head now. Oh, right, here we go then. Can I get somewhere in the middle with my long tool? Oh, I've got to watch the goods, man. Let's see if we can do something here. I think we might be alright here. Ooh, hello, cheeky. Oh, no then, that is interesting. Right then, we got ourselves a painting, people. Isn't it great when you do these things and you think, oh, now I wasn't expecting that. So, I think if that's the case, I'm quite eager. I will at some point have to pop a little bit of neutrality into it, otherwise it's just going to be one of those kind of moments. So I'm going to go in with the pearl green just because I like it. So we're going to build ourselves up, I think, some of the darker tones, going with some lighter ones, maybe drop a couple of bands of sort of light grey in there, and we're definitely going to get some gold in as well. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because this is interesting so far. I'm not going to put a big volume of paint in here. Do you know what? I'm going to keep this. Oh, yes, I've just thought of something. I'm going to keep this quite thin, because then I won't have to tie up the spin table. which means the other one can go back on quite happily. So we're going to go in with Piaget. Now admittedly this is all very green at the moment. Thanks, Noose. Yeah, they're always happy accidents. Right, let's just have it on there, because it doesn't matter at the moment what it's doing. Right, did I go... Right, so we need the... Oh, here we go. This is it now. This is it. This is it. I've got it. I've just figured it all out in my head. Right. Right, I'm going to stop there. Yep, that's good. And I want... Where is it? Come on, Ed. No, I don't want that blue. I don't want that blue. I don't want the dark blue just yet. I will be having it. And I want some more of the Oxford blue. So this is the hybrid purple that we were talking about. I want it on the opposing... No, I need it there. Oh, God. This is a straight. Right. That's it. Got it. Okay, brilliant. Now... Ooh. I'm all excited. I'm all excited. Right, let's oppose this. There we go. Get it on, Ed. Come on. That's it, son. Right, I want the metallic in a minute, and I've got to have some gold in there because we're going to need... Ooh, yes. Let's get that in. That's going to look nice.
Do it! Just do it! Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Nothing is impossible! No, what are you waiting for? Do it! Just do it! Yes, you can!
Okay, right. If Shia says do it, I'm just going to do it. Right, so let's get that spread out and see what we've got. So there's an element... I've just put some of the pearl from last week in there. Let's try this. Right, it's all gone terribly quiet in my head. For once, actually, it's normally quite a noisy place. Right, let's just get this on and then we can establish where I need to put what and in what quantities. Okay, right then. Oh gosh, I need stood on that one then. That wouldn't be the best, would it? Right, so quite a bit in the middle. That's fine. So I've got some rings in the middle I need to deal with. Not a problem. Okay, so I'm going back in with Oxford blue. Let's at least get the outside done. Okay, so I'm quite anxious for a bit of warmth, but I'm going to pop some warmth on right at the very end. I'm going to get back in there with Cambridge because there's only a dab of that on so far. So let's get... Where am I going? Let's get that bad boy back on there. Happy days. So we're still doing the same kind of thing, but just attacking it from a slightly different viewpoint. Oh, Ian, some fantastic names there. I think can I take those? Maelstrom and was it Tidal Vortex? Blimey. Nice. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Tie-dye. Motorised spin table on Libby T's wish list. Do you know what? You should be asking Santa for that. Oh yes, Adie's a real technical whiz, Hazel. Yeah. I should get him a t-shirt that says something, I think we often say, I think it says on the website, perfection comes as standard or something like that, but if you want a miracle, can you give me half an hour? Which is his strap line, that's great. Okay, right, so just quickly changing gloves. So what I've done now, I've gone back in with the Oxford blue, happy days, gone in with the silver, so we're keeping this kind of, down the blues kind of theme. There's two things I need in here. I need some blue and I need some gold. We've kind of had that as a theme this evening, so I'm not going to ignore that. I'm going to carry on with the sequence of colours that I've got, even though I've got literally blues everywhere and teals and aquas. Some really nice ones. I might just pop a little bit of this blue in there. It doesn't matter how really fast I'm spinning this at the moment, because I'm going to end up having a very thin layer of paint by the time I've finished. Of course, by the time I've finished, it would be nice to find the thing I'm opening the cans with, because now I can't find it at all. And I've literally just had it in my hands. So yes, that was Carla. Yes, good question about using a scraper. Yeah, I've used those in the past. What tends to happen is, yes, you can create these nice sort of striations in the paint, but they do eventually sort of fall back into each other. The only real sort of time that works is when you've let the paint go off for a little bit, because then it's more sticky, less viscous, and it tends to hold its shape a little bit better. So as these are straight out the can, I don't really have that luxury tonight, even though I do have some rather nice combs that do that. Well, I wouldn't have combs for my hair now, would I? Since I don't have any. Okay, well, this is a slight problem because now I can't find the tool that I open the cans with, which is really rather embarrassing. The trouble is it looks exactly the same as everything else, and you tend not to be able to see it. Right, so think, Ed, think. Tiniest screwdriver, let's see if I can use that instead. Oh, got it. Right, that's real. Oh, look at that. We're almost back on spin week again, aren't we? Look at it spreading out. Right, come on, Ed, enough of the chat. Sort yourself out, son. Right, let's get a drop of blue in there. Okay, that's fine. Got to get the gold in because I love gold. Even though this can of paint is hideously expensive. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, maybe fairy dust for another day. And let's get one round the edge. Not going to put black on this. This is definitely a black-free zone. And then, right, okay, let's get this spread out. I did have my long spreader. Ah, there we go. Right, okay. Let's get through this. There's another song. Daniel Bedingfield, I think. Okay, well, it's got an interesting finish. Okay, so let's get into the silver and see what happens then. Okay, sorry if you're all getting dizzy, everyone. You should be in my shoes. Crazy. Right, let's get all this spread out. It's quite a lot of paint on there, so I've gone a little bit too harsh with the paint, but that's okay. Don't worry, it's all coming off the edge, look. Right, let's even that out a little bit, smooth it out a little bit, because quite a bit's coming off the edge, but that's okay. That's quite good actually, I like that. Right, let's do the same there. There we go, look. Let's get the gold going. Lovely jubbly. Happy days. Ooh, yeah, that's alright, don't mind that. And let's get right into the middle. Oh Lord. Looks like a tunnel, does it, Bobs? Yeah. Right, let's get, because we've got the metallic in the middle and I really like that. So let's get in there. Now we've got a little sort of curl, shell kind of thing going on in the centre. That's alright, don't mind that. Let's get ourselves a few little lines. Nice, spread that out a little bit. Right, I'll leave that. So, oh gosh, I nearly fell on that then. Right, tired now. Right, so I'm just going to introduce a little bit of white, so I'm going to stop that now, quickly do the edges. Now we haven't got much definition, so let's just quickly stop that. So I'm just going to blend the edges in a little bit, and which one am I going to use with that? I'm going to use this one here, because we haven't introduced any of that yet. So I'll do a quick little shenanigans on the edge. So this one is called Water Blue, which is a RAL colour. Really nice. So this one, is this gloss or semi-gloss? Tanya, thank you so much for joining us, Tanya. Sorry it's going on a bit tonight, folks, but we're almost done. Have a good Christmas, Tanya. Thank you so much for joining us. All the very best. Yeah, we're nearly done, my lovely friends. Thank you for bearing with us so far. We're just gonna the sun and the moon, yes they are. Next we will definitely have the wind and the rain at some point. Okay, cool. Right, so let's just get that blended in with the brush, and we're almost home and dry. Couple of last things that will pop in. Okay, which is fine, and I might actually just finish off with the brush, to be honest with you, and then I can help define some of the lines a little better. Are we on chest cam, did you see? Back on chest cam, there we are, giving it a bit of a swizz round. Remember what we did on the first one, so we're going to get all these lines kind of like moved into one another. Now, the reason I've got to move quite quickly on this now is just the way that they're flowing. So of course with the slight acceleration in the table, I'm kind of moving everything outwards, so I'm really kind of very, very mindful now about how quickly I move. So I've got to move fairly quickly now. Okay, right, so I just need to get, so we're literally another 5 minutes, my darlings, and we're done. Cream's already gone on, so I think we need to make this a little bit more stark, and let's just get a white edge on. So we'll go back into the spin, and we'll get, where's me, there it is, and we'll just get this finished off. So I'm going to put a couple of nice white, soft white edges on this just to define it a little bit. Okay, so let's go with the first one here. There's our first one. Oh, look, can you see what I've done? I've dropped a stick on it. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Oh.
Yay!
Oh, my word. What on earth? Things we do, eh? Right, let's get the other white on, all right? Can't mix this too much, otherwise it's going to go to a sky blue kind of affair, but you know what, I'm going to have this fairly loose because I kind of like that. And we're going to finish this off with a brush. I'm going to use the brush I was already using, so I'm going to go with that first. Let's just define the edges. Okay, that's fine, happy with that, because this is what's going to disappear around the edge of the canvas. So I want to make sure my edges are fine. I'm really, really fastidious about the whole finish. Things have got to be finished properly. I don't like half-baked ideas. I want it to feel right. Now the more I spin the white, the more trouble I'm going to be in. So let's just get rid of this as best we can. Thank you, big worm. Okay. Okay, one left to go. Still feeling like I need something else in here, but let's just get the white blended in. Let's see how we get on. I don't want it to go bland. This is the crucial bit where the silver was. Got to put something in, and this is where I think the orange might go. Yes, I said orange. Just feel like it just needs something here in between the white. I think just a very thin line of the Oxford blue there, that's what I think. It just needs that blue. I mean, we've got some real drama in the centre, so I think the tiniest drop of that stress. Now I've got to pop this into, do you know what, I'm going to pop this into a shot glass. Right, we can see that on the chest cam, can't we? Right, let's get that into the shot glass. Whew, nearly done, folks. Now then, I don't want to drip that anywhere, so I'm gonna slow this down just a fraction. Oh, right, here we go. Okay. Oh, not quite. Here we go. Come on, a little bit faster. My sensitive table. Please, lovely table, just go a little bit quicker. Come on, bit more. There we go, right, here we go. Choose your line. Now this is blue, even though it looks like black, it's not black, it's blue. And I just want to, these lines will probably morph into one another, but I just want to get, oh sorry, I can't talk, it's quite trying to get these last few little lines sort of reasonably even and brought kind of back in so nothing is lying sort of too much where it shouldn't be. Oh, took my eye off it then. Oh, it's all running out. We're alright. Keep breathing. Oof. Oh, come on. And where do we stop? We stop there. Okay, let's see where we're at. Oh boy. Right, lots of blue in the middle. Yeah, do you know, I'm quite into that. I like that. So we've got, it's like I did on the first one with the banding. You know, you have to have these areas. One allows you to see the other, If it's all the same shade and tone, you don't tend to see it. So it's all about light and dark. Everything is light and dark. Is everybody's eyes going funny where it looks like it's twisting itself? Now it's static. Mine does. I know Aegis does on the cameras. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, right. So we've got ourselves a painting. Right, let's just take 2 minutes before we sign off to have a look at some comments. Thanks, Tim Stanton. That's great. Oh, hi Stella, thank you so much for joining us. 4:44 a.m, my goodness me, fair play to you. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate that. A joy to watch you. Oh, Zane, I've just put off my next meeting to say I'm running late because this is too much fun. Which camera are you on, dude? Stella, Tim, Zane, Wendy. Oh God, listen, everybody, thank you so much. We are having such a blast. I could do this all night long. Meetings being put off, all this kind of stuff. You guys are the best. I genuinely mean that. You know, we've had such a harsh week of it. We normally do in between live streams, and this, once we get it right, this is the one part of the week we can enjoy things. And it's, you guys are really building such a community around us, and we don't feel alone anymore. It's amazing. Thank you on behalf of us both. I genuinely mean that. We're very sincere people. We're very down to earth. We just want to have some fun and do the things we love to do, and you are helping us do that every single week. Best viewing figures we've had so far, and you're all part of this amazing audience and group of people that are just getting involved in what we're doing, and it changes everything. It makes everything so much more fun, but it changes that. It makes it better. I'm sure you understand what I mean. We're really so grateful. Anyway, look, so we've done 2 pieces, guys. This is fantastic. I didn't think we'd get this far tonight, but we're having a blast. We'll get the big one over there, pop back on the table and rotate it for the next 24 hours. Of course it will, so it doesn't move too much. So chuffed with both the pieces, guys. This is really great, and it's been enormous fun being able to hang out and share it with you. If you've been new this week and this is your first venture into Suarez HQ, thank you 1,000 million times over for joining us. We are so grateful for your time. Don't forget, if you are new, you need to subscribe. Hit the button somewhere down there. Remember, you could be winning a free painting, one of the originals. I kid you not. Just check the last video on the channel list and you'll see it. Art giveaway. Get a comment down. Tell me which of the paintings you like. You've seen the live stream tonight. You can also see how they were both made as well. Didn't mention that. Yes, a time lapse of how they were made. So, what you've seen tonight, but sped up. Okay. Thank you, everybody, so much wherever you are on the planet for joining us this evening. We are really quite overwhelmed by it all. So thank you. If this is the last time we speak on behalf of Adi and myself, can we all wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Not quite sure what we're going to do over the period yet, but stay tuned. You never know, we might just pop up over your Christmas and say hello. Thank you ever so much, ladies and gentlemen. It has, and always will be, such an enormous pleasure. From Suarez HQ, from myself and AD, have a very Merry Christmas and a very good evening to you all.